Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another war selection video. Today we have a great free-for-all game with 12 players. Some of them are pros with names you might recognise, and some of them are just some of the lovely bunch on my server that get involved with all the fun events like this that go on, with also a ton of giveaways too. The link and everything will be in the description for that, but anyway, we have a free-for-all game that decides the champion of the kingdom. All of us 12 players turned up for the fun, and the winner gets a nice little title for the Discord to show off to everyone else for a whole month. If you like the sound of that and are looking forward to it, then press that like button. Comment below for the monthly giveaways that you'll see if you check out the description, and definitely subscribe with those notifications on to not miss out on any uploads, as you could be missing out on something big. Now on with the video. Let's start by announcing the 12 players, including myself. We have a pretty big map, and unfortunately some people have to be in the middle, but it doesn't always mean that they go out first. Anyway, right at the top of this huge map we have Dark Assassin, who has a nice bit of land to himself. To the left of him we have Corpius with a nice wood line to get him started. Next up, just underneath him in blue, we have Excalibur, one of the pro players joining in the event today. Underneath him we have someone who likes to know his stats, and that's Bravo Mike. Underneath him is the famous Cheese Wheel Lord, a content creator on YouTube and a mod for the kingdom. To the right of him is Balance the Game, another pro player in the lobby who is very good. And again to the right of him we have someone who used to play a lot and was one of the fastest at rushing to IR before recent patches, and that's Zeus, otherwise known as Outlaw Elite. Just above him on the right is Nuri, a chatterbox from the kingdom and always wants to get involved with everything that goes on. To the left of him is the mighty Taste Great, someone who has probably the most knowledge on the game, and quite next to him is Error429, another pro from the main Discord. And then finally, in this little corner of happiness is me, in red, because I made the game. So in this game we went with a 10-minute ceasefire, just so it gave everyone a chance to get out of the Stone Age and into the Bronze and Iron Age, where everyone could start doing the damage there. We done this to avoid rushes early on for the newer players that joined. Now everyone is introduced and the game is just getting started over the 10-minute mark. Let's have a quick look at how everyone is doing with their bases. As you can see, everyone has made it above the Stone Age, which is great, and some people already have some armies ready to go finding who to take out first. Error has made some swordmen that were looking to come in my direction. I did not know it at the time, but I had to get prepared for an attack. As Error gets ready to approach my base, at the same time down south of the map Taste is entering Bravo Mike's base with some units of his, trying to damage his opponent's economy. Although it looks like he might be able to defend it with those horses. Whilst that is happening, Error makes his push onto my base for the first time with those swordsmen. With me being Asia and my temple being so weak, I was really scared. And of course, it's the first thing he goes for. But he does decide to stop to kill some workers when I repair it so quickly. Oh no, that was really close. But after that first attack, Error decides to restack his army and give me a little bit of time to breathe. Just as Bravo Mike has finished with Taste's great army, Balance the Game has some swordsmen to throw at him now, and it's not going to be so easy getting rid of them. And again, Error makes his attack on me for the second time already in this game. I mean, come on, you can just leave me alone and I'll leave you alone, but of course that's not how war is. He makes his push onto my main building, and unfortunately I just did not have enough workers there. He does actually take me out of my own game, but at the same time Bravo Mike goes down. So we both suffered the same loss to those freaking swordsmen. Well, Error, thank you very much, and I hope someone can avenge my death. The reason why he killed me, he did say that he needed the resources, and it was my position of the map that killed me, which is fair enough, I guess. Now people are starting to make their way to medieval and start getting those warehouses and worker upgrades. And no one attacked for a little while until eventually, just after 23 minutes, Zeus comes in with some legions, archers and pikemen to counter those annoying swordsmen, and they do eventually start to push towards Balance the Game's base. With those swordsmen, he does actually have a few longbows to help defend against what he has come in, and as long as they do not touch his workers, he should be alright. Oh, and on the right you can see some tower pushing from Zeus. Oh no, on the left hand side we have Chief Will pushing with towers, squashing Balance the Game into a nice little sandwich for war. However, he does push out Zeus's attack and can get back on track again. Once again, nothing happened for a few minutes until Cheese decides to upgrade those horsemen into light knights. I mean, it was bound to come eventually. And with Balance the Game being threatened on the other side of his base, it's going to cause some huge damage when Cheese does actually push. Another few moments go by and then those light knights come in. Balance does see it soon enough, but if Zeus pushes now, it's not going to be great at all. Those light knights take out a stable, and Zeus's catapult is now attempting to take down towers. Cheese is doing whatever damage he can to his opponent's economy, but Balance does really well to hide his workers in those towers and to get back on defending his right side. As if getting attacked from one side is not enough. He pushes his longbows forward and forces Zeus to retreat his units just a little bit. But with those trebuchets, he does not want any more of those being produced, so now would be the best time to go and stop it. Although it wasn't for long, Balance was smart and split his army to get rid of the siege units as quick as possible. I mean, now hopefully he can breathe a little bit. Cheese doesn't seem to like Lion farming so close to his base, so he made some militiamen in the late Middle Ages to go be an annoyance for him, but he might have just aggravated him to attack his base now. A lot of people seem to be defending in the game just to get to IR, and yep, here's one example, 35 minutes in and Taste is fully upgraded in IR with China. You guys remember it's double population, right? We are going to see some huge fights very shortly. We do have some people who are not IR yet because they focused on walls and towers, and oh now, error is Great Britain, a very strong country in the late game. Zeus has also made his way to Russia, and well, I think Balance should be a little bit worried now. You can see Taste Great just slowly stacking up his huge army of Chinese militiamen, spearmen and archers, and probably some mounted guardsmen to come in as well. Now we have a battle on the sea at 37 minutes in. It looks like Dark Assassin might have been going for an easy snipe onto Error, and I don't think he's too happy with that by the looks of it. However, he does cause him to back off and then leaves his ships on the shoreline for later. Oh wow, now, with some death-sized archers and soldiers, Zeus pushes just a little bit to show off his authority. He is probably getting worried himself as he could get attacked from the right, above or from Balance. Even Cheese is now making some ships for an easy snipe on to balance the game, but I think your ship attacking the wall there will show him what you are wanting to do a little bit too early. Again, Zeus comes in from the other side and it really is so difficult for Balance the game right now in between these two annoyances. He does the smart thing to get horses so he can at least get close enough to do a little bit of damage before he reaches IR himself. Unfortunately, those trebuchet are just missing the shots he needs to hit on those death dives. There's some more action on the sea now, as it looks like Dark Assassin carried on creating those ships, so I think he's going to get punished. Error proceeds to take out his fishing boats and bombardier ships, and eventually the docks. Taste Great has now finally decided to make a move against someone. It just so happened to be that someone is actually Excalibur, and with China attacking and you only just reaching Turkey, it's going to be very difficult to be able to counter that. So much damage Taste is doing. I think it was more to do with bad timing in Excalibur's defense. He was probably worried being picked off majority of the game because he was in the middle, and as soon as he thought it might be safe to get to IR, Taste comes along with these Chinese zombies, and unfortunately Taste does seem to get the better of Excalibur, and he was the next one to go. More going on down south of the map, we have Zeus pushing closer and closer on to balance the game, and Cheese is still doing damage with his ships. And he's also Russia, which means balance is between two players who went Russia. Oh no, unlucky, and he went France. Let's just check out what country everyone has got in the game. So we got a Turkey, a Great Britain from Dark Assassin. Okay, I guess that will make it harder for Error, although he is GB2. And is way ahead. Oh, just quickly, we have a push coming from balance to make Zeus go away, but those towers and death scythes prove too difficult and is still at both sides of his base. Taste is preparing his army for yet another attack, and the only question is where? Nuri is still in medieval? I'm not sure why, maybe he has been semi-AFK, but fair enough, real life happens. And lastly we have Lion Fang, who is straight abstract. Fair play, they can be just as deadly when they are used right. It was again quiet for a little bit. The only thing happening was Cheese Will Lord being annoying with his ships, oh, and a few death scythes coming in. Like Balance hasn't already been dealing with that on the other side. Up the top of the map, it looks like Corpius has moved to a different island, which is a great idea for the late game, especially when you're going to need the resources. Your workers can't be harmed unless from the sea or your opponent does the same thing. It looks like it's coming to an end for Balance the game this time, with his base getting smaller. Error is also now pushing onto Nuri with some machine gun towers. I mean, it does look like he's not playing right. I don't know. When I was not expecting it, Taste is making his way towards Lion Fang now, and it does not look good for him at all. Especially with that little gap in his wall there next to the trees. His units can just walk in without even knocking. And oh god, he also has some rocket launchers backing up the militiamen to come in and finish the job off. China is just too strong in double population, and Lion was the next one to go, sadly. With less and less targets on the map, we are getting closer and closer to deciding who the champion of the kingdom will be. It looks like Balance the Game might be the next to go though in this one. Because Taste is now looking for fresh blood, Cheese seems to be the next on his list, but at the same time Cheese is taking out Balance, and this time it's for good. But does he retreat his units back to save his own base? And nope, he decides to finish the job, and Balance the Game was the next one to go. Although now Cheese has some worrying to do. Error is continuing to finish off Nuri for those resources, and Taste is definitely doing some damage to Cheese. With just machine guns, Nuri was the next person to go. I mean, he didn't really give himself a chance, unfortunately. There's always next time. It's still all happening with Taste Great attacking Cheese, but with him being Russia, it's a little easier to counter China as you take out bursts of them, and oh no, that's a lot more zombies. Let's see how he does here. Those death sives really do take out a whole bunch of Chinese units. That's one way to beat China out of your base. A bit. Now that Error was finished with Nuri, he is pushing towards Zeus with those towers he's building, and Zeus is doing some damage to Taste. Just doing some damage with his planes to affect Taste's vision. But if he could see what was happening to Cheese, I think he might have thought twice about doing that. With mainly just towers and some houses left, the only defense he can rely on is those towers, or for someone to attack Taste and make him retreat his units, although he is getting closer and closer to the town hall now. 1 hour and 5 minutes into the game, Zeus decides to go for a wonder, which is the worst thing you could possibly do with this many players left. Taste instantly redirects his units from heading to Cheese's base and heads to Zeus for that wonder. Already they have done a ton of damage to Zeus's base and is slowly taking out majority of it, getting closer to the wonder. Maybe he should have put down a bit more defense, but I know that he hasn't played for some time and it's kind of hard to defend with Russia anyway. Error also sends his units down towards the wonder and just skips Taste Great's base. This is why you should not go for the wonder first. Scorpius is now attacking Dark Assassin with a battleship and a plane or two to knock his economy up the top of the map once again, and now Error's heavy tanks come into the Wonder base to take it out. The next one with the Wonder is Error, so we get to see how well he will be able to defend this from 3 different players, and Taste Great being one of them. Zeus is now out of the game. Error has some units underneath Taste, so I'd be careful if I was him. Scorpius is still being annoying up the top for Dark Assassin, and Cheese is trying to hedgehog it up to stop Taste, but Taste has decided it's time for Cheese to leave the game. He once again swarms his base with all the units he has to go ahead and finish the job he left from earlier, and now only 4 players left in the game. Error with 21 minutes left on the Wonder and in the middle of all 3 of them. He has a lot of defending to do. But oh wait, Scorpius has decided to take out Dark Assassin rather than letting him go for the Wonder with him. Maybe it's not the best move in order for you guys to win the game yourselves. If Error wins, you both lose. But he goes ahead and does some damage to him even more with the cannons, and then mounts his snipers into the ground. Dark Assassin is desperate to repair his main building as he drags all of his workers over, and yeah, I think he has time. I'm not sure how long for though, because not even 20 seconds later, some planes come in to take out those workers repairing and proceeds to take out the main building. With 3 cannons left, it looks like he's going to do it. But wait, Dark Assassin comes again with even more workers and oh wow, that dropped to like 10 health. He is doing the best he can to keep himself in the game, and he's also buying time for error, just letting the minutes go down with these attacks being focused on him instead of the Wonder. Corpius needs to take out the howitzer, destroying his snipers, which he goes on to do. And this time it really does look like he cannot do anything in repairing the main building, and with a few more shots, unfortunately, Dark Assassin is out of the game. But I must admit, he done extremely well to keep himself in it for that long, and enough talking, more action from Taste, Crate and Error. Taste is making a push onto the Wonder himself, whilst the other two were fighting up the top. Just look at those defences, it's going to be really difficult. A couple of waves are going into the base but are not making a dent. I'm not sure where Corpius is at the moment in helping all this, but he has to come soon to be in for a chance to beat this Wonder, because it looks as though at the moment just the Chinese units are not cutting it. Taste does seem to be getting a little bit closer. Here comes Corpius with some tower pushing, and he is probably making an army of cannons to go in from behind, even though Error is probably ready for it with all those C4s. Slowly, Error's units and buildings are dropping, but so is the Swarms of China. They do actually get pushed back behind the wood line once again, but now with only 10 minutes to go, Corpius comes in behind with those light cannons and snipers. He soon realises he will not get through so easily. He needs to build those artillery towers a lot closer so that they can take out the C4s and eventually the main building. Error has actually succeeded in pushing Taste back for now, as he runs out of units and restacks the army. Only for a little bit though, and Corpius is getting closer with what he has. Only a minute has gone now, and defending on both fronts is really taking its time. Corpius is slowly pushing with those artillery towers, and Error is successfully covering both sides enough to keep them from getting in and to even touch the Wonder. Now whilst he has the tanks and submachine gunners and anti-tank gunners, he also has planes destroying those meaty units for China, and let's be honest, there's not a lot of them, so they are really effective right now. Corpius can probably attack with those towers, but they are just idle. You need to push at the same time. Taste and Error have been in the same spot for the last 12-13 minutes or even more. With over 80 houses, he still does not have enough to keep spawning units, because those Britain units are just shredding them. Now some planes come from Corpius to take something out next to the Wonder, and no, not a single hit. He can't even get close to anything because of those C-forts and towers. Error now has some more planes and only 4 minutes to defend. It looks like he is going to keep it going. With some heavy units coming in from Taste, this might be the final push needed to take him out. But they seem to have stopped. The heavy units need to go through the base and the militiamen can follow in behind. I think if he pushed like that, he might have caused a bit more damage. And again, it feels like Taste is back to square one. Corpius sends in snipers to scout out what's going on next to the Wonder, and once again his units get completely destroyed. Error also has 6 engineers on standby, ready to repair the main building as they repair it faster. With nothing left coming in from Corpius and Taste still in the same position, there seems to be no way of getting through to Error at all. His defence as Great Britain is insane, and to hold off both fronts is very well played. Now Corbius comes in with the artillery towers, but I think it's a little too late. Tace comes in with some units to start getting rid of the buildings, and only 1.5 minutes to go for that wonder to drop. There is no more defensive units on the left side, and Taste is spamming these units, but at this point you need to be attacking the wonder. Only by some miracle will you be able to go ahead and get to this now. A few artillery bombs come in from the towers, but as I said, it's just too late. If it was only a few minutes earlier, there might have been a chance. And with 10 seconds left, there is nothing left to give. And Error goes on to win this huge free-for-all game to become champion of the kingdom. And very well played to him too. We all had a blast playing this game, and I hope you guys all enjoyed watching it. If you did, then press that like button, comment below anything at all for that monthly giveaway, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel with those notifications on to not miss out on anything that goes on around here. Check out the description for more info on the giveaways and a link to the Discord kingdom where you can get involved yourself next time and possibly become the champion. I hope to see you all in the next one. Thank you to everyone who got involved, and thank you all for watching once again. I really do hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, peace!